Okay, we're live on the air. Good afternoon, y'all. This is the man in the black mask, and he has a bizarre story to share with y'all. Okay, I was listening to this on 1010 Winds early this morning, and I couldn't believe it. This deranged dude would throw a Molotov cocktail at police during a routine traffic stop. I mean, now this Lionel Virgile dude, he's probably going to be looking at 20 to life or something, and attempted murder. Because let me tell you something. Had that cop, no, had that Molotov cocktail went off on the police car instead of the concrete, he would have killed a couple of cops and he'd be looking at first degree murder and the death penalty. Okay? And this is the article that I got from NBC that I want to read and share with you. See this? See that? Okay, good. Yeah. Um, yeah, how can I say this? Driver faces federal charges for throwing Molotov cocktail at police. And this here says driver faces possible federal charges for Molotov cocktail thrown at cops. Okay? Now, this started after a routine traffic stop for when he ran a red light. And then the shit hit the fan after Mr. Virgil threw bleach in the cop's eye, which triggered one hell of a chain reaction, of course. Yeah. Not very smart. After running a red light in Brooklyn, police said the driver fled from police and hurled a Molotov cocktail at a police vehicle before he was ultimately taken into custody. Now, this son of a bitch is lucky the cops didn't kill his ass on sight. They could have shot him dead and been justified. Now, a lot of you was wondering why didn't they shoot him after he just tried to kill a dozen cops? Hell, even I couldn't believe it. Because me, they probably would have killed me. Maybe even you too if you're black. And possibly even your kid, you never know. Just like that 13-year-old boy that got shot for no reason. A traffic stop in Brooklyn turned violent Saturday morning when a driver pulled over for running a red light hurled a Molotov cocktail at police, the New York Police Department said. Law enforcement sources identified Lionel Virgile as the driver accused of evading police twice and throwing potentially harmful substances at several officers in East Flatbush. You know, I haven't been to Flatbush in a long time, but I've been there before. I even know Bushwick. A 44-year-old Bridgeport, Connecticut man was driving through the borough when he blew through a red light, catching the attention of police officers. Wow. So basically, he just turned a state misdemeanor into a federal felony. Not very smart. Two officers pulled Virgile over just before 8 a.m. after he ran the light, police said. Video posted by the NYPD hours later on Twitter appears to show body camera footage of the stop, and the moment the accused driver tossed the liquid onto one of the officers. In the video, two officers approached the Lincoln Town car on each side and began talking to the driver through his door. When he opens the door and tosses a liquid, hitting the officer near the driver's door. The video ends, and that's when police said Virgile drove off. A second team of officers in the area spotted the Lincoln a short distance from the traffic stop and pulled it over. Police said Virgile stepped out of his vehicle at the second traffic stop and threw a lit Molotov cocktail at their vehicle. It allegedly bounced off the windshield and shattered in the street. A lucky bastard, man, because then he'd have got charged with murder. The man hopped back into his vehicle and fled from police for a second time, they said. Moments later, he collided with an unoccupied parked SUV on Snyder Avenue. Officers caught up to the man and removed him from the vehicle, taking him into custody. 3 other Molotov cocktails were recovered from inside the driver's vehicle, police said. One officer sustained minor injuries during the incident and was taken to a nearby hospital. The NYPD is investigating the incident along with the U.S. Attorney and the FBI. Virgile could face federal weapon of mass destruction charges, according to 4 law enforcement sources who spoke with News 4. Officials were also speaking with the Brooklyn District Attorney late Saturday about an attempted murder of a police officer charge or other serious possible state counts. Sources say the preference is a federal charge because it carries a 20-year penalty if convicted and the likelihood of no bail, as federal judges can consider danger to the community when deciding on bail. Police were also waiting on a federal search warrant for the suspect's vehicle. There are unknown writings and drawings on the ceiling of the vehicle. According to the sources, the driver waited to run the red light until the police car pulled up. Investigators believe this may have been a deliberate act to lure police. Suicide by cop. Let me find out. Let me find out that this man was suicidal and he really wanted the cops to kill him. Spokesman for the NYPD and FBI did not comment on the accusations the attack was planned and referred news floor to the U.S. Attorney. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York did not immediately return a call for comment. Now, this Virgile cat, he's probably out of his mind because I heard his brother state that he might have been suffering from a mental illness. It's possible, but what if he isn't? What if he's just plain deranged? Because let me tell you, why I'm saying this is because I don't want to stereotype people who are mentally ill in some ways, or to an extent. Because not all mentally ill people resort to this kind of violence. However, there are some people that just went through some serious shit and they just can't take it no more. They just, fall off the bandwagon. I mean, think about Michael Douglas and falling down. He wasn't mentally ill, but he was out of his fucking mind. And I'm not going to give out no spoilers because there's a lot of you that have not seen the movie Falling Down, and I don't want angry messages left on my thing, So I'm just going to take it easy and not give out the movie. But I will say this. Mr. Virgile is seriously off his rocker. There is something very wrong with him, mental illness or not. But like I said again, maybe his brother was right. You never know. Because not all mentally ill people resort to this kind of violence. You know that, and I know that. But this pandemic, however, has made things worse for everybody, has made life harder to live. But that's no excuse for Mr. Virgile to do what he did. Whatever he went through, whether it was this pandemic or not, he had no right to do that. And now he's probably going to be sitting in federal lockup, okay? But not before he gets sent to the tombs. However, I'm also guessing that the judge might order a psychiatric evaluation. And they're probably going to take his brother's statement into account that he may be bipolar or whatever the hell it was that he was diagnosed with. But I'm sure that'll be taken into account when this goes to court. Once the federal DA gets a hold of this case, I'm telling you, this shit's going to hit the fan, man, I'm telling you. And he's going to be sitting at the tombs, if not the prison hospital. But I got to admit, something's going to happen. You know that, and I know that. And Mr. Virgile, meanwhile, he should be lucky the cops didn't shoot his ass dead, because an average person would have been shot to death. But he's lucky he's still alive. Okay? He's fucking lucky. He's a lucky bastard, man. Just like this teen that got busted with the AK-47 in Times Square. He's lucky he didn't get shot. Now, each time these things happen, I wonder, why would the cops spare certain black people when all they can do is kill off black people? But yet they won't kill every black person, which is a good thing, but still. I don't trust the police. I'll tell you, the man in the black mask, he don't give a fuck about the police. But never will he ever set out to kill them just because he don't give a fuck about them. Okay? Trust me, I fucking hate police. I'm being honest with you. Okay? But I would never preach violence against the NYPD just because I got a vendetta against the NYPD over what I went through as a kid and as an adult. I mean, I wouldn't do that, man. You understand that. You don't understand that. You know that. I know better. But like I said, man, Virgile is going to go to jail for a long time. And he better hope he don't become fresh meat inside that federal lockup. Because them motherfuckers up there, man, they don't play. The guards can be just as bad as the inmates, too. So he ought to consider that. He better pray they send him to the prison hospital and not general population. Now, thank you for listening to the Man in the Black Mask. If I have another article to bring out to share with you and voice my political views, then I'll do that. If I can find another article. Because I like to read and share things with you. Because I've been doing this ever since the 5th grade, okay? Check my earlier videos for that kind of reference, okay? The 5th grade motivated me to be a spokesperson, okay? A self-appointed spokesperson. And thank God for YouTube, man. Because if not for YouTube, I wouldn't know what to do. Especially with this pandemic. This is the time for our voices to get louder and speak out. And this is what the Man in Black Mask is doing. So don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a question underneath the screen and tell me what you think about this bizarre incident. Until then, good luck, be well, and have a good day. Thank you.